Hello my bookish besties and welcome back into another video. Happy start of 2026. That is literally crazy to say, but anywho, here we are. There's no going back. Time just keeps on moving. But anywho, I thought it would be super fun to do a TBR jar video to, figure out my reads for the month of January. I had a TBR jar last year, but I never really used it because I pretty much exclusively was reading Brandon Sanderson, but now that my Brandon Sanderson journey has slowed down a little bit, I thought it would be fun to, have a way to kind of motivate myself to read my physical TBR. Let's go ahead and really quickly discuss some of the newest additions to my TBR cart. I got some books for Christmas, and then I also have recently purchased some books, so let's quickly run through those. First, I picked up Malice by John Gwynne. I picked up Heavenly Bodies by Amani Iru. I picked up A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I also picked up Direbound. This is by Sable Sorensen. I picked this up, I think, in a vlog with you guys during Bookmas. I got it to do a buddy read with a couple of my friends. Okay, that might be all of them. I also did get the H.P. Lovecraft collection for my husband for Christmas, and my mom did get me signed copies of the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, but those I've already read, so they're like on their permanent home shelf. I thought I bought a couple of others though. Oh, if you watched my Come Shopping With Me Bookmas video, I did go ahead and buy the books that were in that, so they're actually back here. I do have Queen of Air and Darkness now from Cassandra Clare. I have the Cassandra Clare book that just released. It's like a copy of 10, or a collection, I guess, of 10 love stories. And then I did also acquire a UK copy of Tales of Beetle the Bard, but again, I've already read that. But anywho, those are the newest additions to the cart. So without further ado, let's start pulling some prompts. Okay, so I do have my TBR jar here, and I also have reads on my Kindle, but I don't read my Kindle super often since I can't take it to work, and I do technically have some books on this shelf that are contenders too, because I do want to start my Cassandra Clare journey in January, and I also have some Cosmere reads left to read, so there's a chance some of those could get pulled. I also do technically have my book club's book already picked out. We are reading Before I Forget. This is a short little book about like a lady whose dad has, I think it said he has dementia, but like he can see the future. Like he can't remember the past, but he can see the future or something like that. So we do have this that I will be reading hopefully in January. This is also on the list of books that I'm kind of hoping I can get to this month, because I do technically right now have the audiobook for this checked out from the library. So I'm hoping to read Red City, but I think we are going to, we'll see what happens. I mean, they're going to pick 6 books through prompts and then add this one as like a mood read, or maybe I will see if I can pull this one in any prompts. Then I also have Hellbent sitting back here because one, it didn't fit on the cart, and 2, I'm really hoping to read that ASAP. So anywho, let's grab the first prompt. My dog's hair is all over this jar. Okay. I will let you read it first. Okay, it says an arc. Let me grab my Kindle. Okay, off the top of my head, I do right now have an audiobook arc, like I guess a advanced listener's copy that I could listen to. It is coming out in January. It's called The Poet Empress, I think. So that one is a super strong contender. Let's see. Okay, so I do have the first one that's kind of coming to mind is I do currently have 2 arcs that are like really high on my priorities. I have one here called One Grim Night. This is by Chad Nichols. It's like Grimm's fairy tale retellings, but with like a horror twist. And then I also have one called Roles and Rivalry. This is by Christy Boyce. It is the 3rd book. I believe they aren't connected. They just kind of have a theme of the, what are they called? It's like dungeons and dating and then dragons and something like that. It's those books. I'll insert pictures of both of them obviously, but those are both really intriguing me. I'm kind of leaning towards reading all three. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the advanced listeners copy on here because I would really like to get that read before it comes out January 20th. And then I think I want to maybe mood read one of these two arcs. So we've got those on the list. Okay, our next prompt. Let's do this pink one. Okay. A book I purchased just for the cover. Ooh. Okay, well, I have an obvious choice here. Let me get it out. Okay, so the prompt said a book I picked out just for the cover. This is definitely the first one that comes to mind. I have heard good things about this book, but I can't lie, there's just something about this stained glass art that is like calling to me. I think it is gorgeous. This is definitely like the one that's speaking to me the most. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with A Dance of Lies. Okay, time for prompt 3. Ooh, another orange one. Okay, I'll let you see it first. It says reread a book. I already know which book I'm picking. I'm going to go ahead and pick People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I wanted to reread it before the movie comes out January 9th anyways, so this is just the literal perfect excuse to do that. Okay, next prompt. See if maybe we can get a blue one. Oh, that's another orange. No, I don't want another orange. This one. Oh, it's blue. Thank God. Okay, I'll let you see first. Start a new series. Okay, do I dare pick up Red City? Because this is the start of a new series. And like I said, I was trying to get it on the agenda this month. This is a really good option, I think, because I was going to probably read it this month anyways. I could also pick up... Oh, it's stuck. Malice. This is the first book in The Faithful and the Fallen. This is a big book, though. But one of my really good friends is currently reading this, and he is obsessed, and he wants me to read it really bad. So this is definitely another contender. And I do want to read this soon, but like I said, Red City just like perfectly fits. I also have a couple of these that are starts of cities, LOL, series, like Shield of Sparrows is the start of a series, Curious Tides is the start of a series, Silver Elite, Alchemy of Secrets, Arcana Academy, Empire of Silence. I have Immortal Dark back here, as well as the Dagger in the Flame. The Rose Bargain is kind of the start of a series. It's a duology, though. Let's see, Legendborn. I have a lot of start of series on here, actually. Soul of Shadows, that's a start to a trilogy. We have Caraval, been meaning to read that for a long time. Mile High. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Red City, though, because like I said, I was trying to get it on this month's TBR anyways, so I think it is unfortunately perfect. But anywho, okay, we have 4 prompts. We need 2 more. Maybe we can get a yellow this time. Oh, okay. I want that one. Okay. What's it say? A book with a textured cover. Ooh. Okay. So I do know some of these definitely don't have texture. Malice, like, kind of does. It's got, like, a little bit of, like, a... You hear that? It's got a little bit of that going on. So like most of these down here feel like they're just gonna be just plain. Trying to see if I can feel anything. Okay, so Caraval actually kind of has a little bit of a texture. Ugh, these are so hard to get out because I don't want to like ruin the pages. It's got a little bit of a texture because the words here are like embossed. Is that the right word? So could put Caraval. Let's see. Ooh, this indie book has a little bit of texture. This is A Stirring from the Depths. This is by Kate Waterhouse. It's got a little bit of embossing, but this is kind of like it's a Selkie and a Kelpie, which is, I think, a mermaid, or no, sorry. One of them is like a horse water, like a seahorse shifter, I think, and then the other one is a seal. So I do think I want to put this away until summer. But that one does fit the prompt. Okay, Scythe also has some texture. It's kind of like Malice, how it has kind of it's got like a crispy thing going on. I don't think any of these would have texture. Let's see. I also have some books on the back here, so that's why I'm... Okay, this one also has some embossing. This is Sorcery of Thorns. Let's see. And then I don't think any of these do. Okay, so I think my three biggest options are Sorcery of Thorns. This is by Margaret Rogerson. This is a book I've been dying to read for like 2 years, so it might be smartest to put this one on the TBR. It also is a standalone, I believe, so this could be a good one because then I could read it finally and be done with it, but like in a good way, you know. There's a Caraval, which again, this does have texture, and I have been meaning to read this for a long time, but I don't know if I want to start another series. I did tell myself last winter that I wanted to read all 3 Caravals in kind of December, February timeframe, and then read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series in the spring, summer time frame. But I don't know that I'm in the mood for this right now. Like, I don't know that I want to start, like, commit to another series. So I think I might put this one away. And then same with Malice. I do really, really want to read this ASAP, but this book is massive. And I, like I mentioned, want to read some Cassandra Clare this month. So I do need to kind of keep that in mind when I'm picking out my books. And this one might be just a little bit too big and ambitious for January right now. So that does mean that we are going to put Sorcery of Thorns on the TBR. Okay, we have one last prompt to pull. Let's see what it is. Oh, another orange. I don't know why these oranges just love getting pulled. There's a yellow inside the orange. Let's open both. Why not? Okay. Let's read it first. Or does it go this way? I can kind of see through the through the paper a little bit. Josh picks. Okay, here's the thing about that. That's my friend that really wants me to read Malice. So I know for a fact, if I text him right now and say, can you pick a book for me to read in January? He's gonna pick Malice. Let's see what this yellow one was. Okay, here is the yellow prompt. It says a book you could read in one sitting. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This prompt intrigues me just a little bit more. I'm so sorry, Josh. I think I'm gonna put him back in the jar for now because I know he's gonna pick Malice and I really do want to read it, but like I said, I don't think January is the right time frame. So, fingers crossed we pull that one soon so that he can do that. I think for this prompt, I might pick any trope but you. I definitely think if I set my mind to it that this is the kind of book that I could read in one sitting. Because it's only 321 pages, which sounds like a lot, but it's a romance and the font here looks like a pretty good size. So also it doesn't say I have to read it in one sitting. It's saying one that I could read in one sitting. Another contender is this one. It is an indie published book. It's called From Stardust by Megan Kay. I do technically have the Kindle physical and audio versions of this book, but again, it's similar to the Stirring from the Depths, where it's like about pirates. I kind of feel like that is more of a summery spring read, but I definitely do think I could read it in one sitting. I think I'm gonna go with Any Trope But You. This is giving winter, obviously, so I do think I kind of want to read this sooner rather than later. I also haven't read a romance in a really long time, so let's add this to the TBR. Okay, that is all 6 books picked out. Let's do a quick recap. Okay, so the first prompt I pulled was an arc. I think I'm going to read one of the 3 arcs on my Kindle that I mentioned. I'm leaning towards the Poet Empress, but we will see if I can fit in time, maybe for 1 or 2 of the Kindle ones. The second prompt I pulled was a book I picked out just for the cover. I am choosing A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. The third prompt I pulled was reread a book, so I'm choosing People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I plan to hopefully get this reread before the movie comes out January 9th. The next prompt I pulled was Start a New Series, so I picked Red City by Marie Lu. Next, I pulled a prompt that said pick a book with a textured cover. I picked Sorcery of Thorns. It has kind of like the letters are raised. And last but not least, I pulled a prompt that said pick a book you could read in one sitting, so I picked up Anyone But You by Victoria Levine. And then technically also on my TBR for the month is Before I Forget. This is by Tori Hinwood Hohen. Again, I do have a little bit of a time limit on this one because it is my book club's pick of the month, but I'm hopefully going to read this too. And then my goal is to also read the first 3 books by Cassandra Clare. So that is City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. If I do read those, they will definitely be a video, a vlog, probably spoiler and non-spoiler. I'll do maybe like a mix of both. So I have a pretty large TBR here, but I'm really excited. I'm really hopeful. I think I can get this done. I have, these are all upside down, aren't they? Anywho, I'm really excited. I hopefully will get to every single one of these. Some of them are way lower pressure than others, like Before I Forget. If I don't read it before book club, oh well. The arcs, I would love to read them, but I have to be realistic. I'm not the best about reading on my Kindle. People we meet on vacation, that's a want, not a need. It was a prompt, so, hopefully I read it, but I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't. This is just for fun. I make the rules here, okay? But yeah, I'm really excited. I think this looks like a really, really good stack. It also is a good mix of genres and kind of interests. Like, I'm really, really excited to read A Dance of Lies. Really excited about Red City. Really excited about my romances and my literary fiction. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really good month. But anywho, thank you so much for watching today's video. Let me know down in the comments below what's on your January TBR and which one of these I should prioritize to read first. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one.